aggression on opposing schools. Another game day tune is coming up here on Game Time.
This is Game Time.
Good afternoon and welcome to Hudson High School for today's soccer matchup between the Lincoln High School Wisconsin Rapids Red Raiders and your Hudson Raiders. Please turn your attention to the video board for a message from our captains from this year's team.
In line with the WIAA and Big Rivers Conference, Hudson High School requires good sportsmanship at education-based athletic events. Admission to event is a privilege, and with that privilege becomes responsibility. Responsibility to conduct oneself in a respectful manner where the event is enjoyable for athletes, coaches, officials, and fans.
Lastly, please be reminded that state law prohibits the use of alcohol, tobacco, and drug products in an area used by public schools. Would you all please rise and honor America by removing your hats for the national anthem?
Let's meet today's starting lineups. First, for Lincoln High School Wisconsin Rapids Red Raiders, sorry, folks, got really excited for some good soccer today. Here we go. For the Red Raiders, midfield number 2, Natalie Hotto. Forward number 5, Claire Mitchell. Defense number 7, Kendall Bananek. Defense number 8, Emma Schillinger. Defense number 9, Lauren Schillinger. Midfield number 10, Sydney Hayes. Forward, number 12, Allie Johns. Forward, number 16, Abby Gust. Goalkeeper, number 18, Aaliyah Leach. Midfield, number 21, Natalie Bone. Defense, number 23, Maddie Metcalf. The head coach for the Red Raiders is Nate Cleveland. And now, for your Hudson Raiders! Goalkeeper, number 0, Hannah Kendhammer. Midfield, number 2, Maggie Salama. Defense, number 7, Maggie McConnell. Defense, number 8, Hannah Huntley. Forward, number 11, Armana Ramsanici. Defense, number 12, Hannah Lundeen. Midfield, number 14, Brayna Ford. Forward, number 16, Allie Stubendick. Defense, number 19, Nevaeh Tillman. Midfield, number 22, Natalie Ramthun. And midfield, number 24, Olivia Petty. The head coach for the Hudson Raiders is Aaron Gary. The officiating crew for this contest is Andre Ginshu, Nick Stewart, and Mike Johnson. Let's play some good soccer.
Good afternoon and welcome to Raiders Soccer. This is a second round regional matchup today, and it's a fantastic, beautiful day in the Hudson River Valley. Actually, the St. Croix River Valley, to be exact, but in the town of Hudson. We have the visiting Wisconsin Rapids Lincoln High School Red Raiders in white, playing from right to left on your screen as the visitors, and the hometown Hudson Raiders in blue, playing from left to right on your screen. And this should be a doozy of a game. The Raiders, the number 3 seed in the region, defeated the number 6 seeded Superior Spartans last week, and the Raiders get right off the bat, sending that ball in, a little too tight to the goal though, and easily handled by, looks like Aaliyah Leach of Wisconsin Rapids here. Wisconsin Rapids, Lincoln here, playing spoiler as the number 7 seed, took down the number 2 Wausau West seeded team earlier this week, and earned the right to come to Hudson to play in this match. So this is going to be a great game. Looking forward to some good soccer here on a beautiful Saturday afternoon. Actually a little bit balmy here in Hudson. I've had rain for the last probably 36 hours, so there's a little humidity in the air, and it's, the sun is out, and it's a little bit warm, to be honest with you, and the air is dead. I'm looking at the flags right now, and there's no movement, but that's not going to stop any of these girls from playing hard. So welcome. This is brought to you by the River Channel Broadcasting Company out of Hudson, Wisconsin, and I'm joined by my colleague Jeff Munter here. Jeff is the technical expertise and the heart and soul of the opera. There's a great cross by the Raiders. And there's a goal. There's a goal by Natalie Ramthen. There's a goal. That's an exciting start for the Raiders. We're going to see who got the assist.
Scoring for the Hudson Raiders is number 22, Natalie Rumpton.
And that's an assist to number 15, Gracie Nell. So great start for the Raiders at the minute and 42nd point in the match to a really nice play, bringing that ball down to the end line, crossing it in. Little bit of a scramble, and Ramthen had the moment that you want in that situation to take a great shot. Sometimes you don't get that moment. There's too much defense. You're not able to settle the ball, but she had that extra half second to make sure that she could put that ball where she wanted, and she played it nicely away from the goalkeeper, because even that close in, it's easy to pop that ball over the goal, mishit it to the left or right, and Natalie, she killed it there. So great play, great start for the Raiders. But a lot of time left for the Red Raiders here too. So here we go. We have Hannah Huntley there on the ball for the Raiders, putting it up to Olivia Petty, and now back in deep into the goal, and the Raiders are crashing. You had Armana Rancinici and Natalie Ramthen on that ball, because a high bouncer in the box is that could be tricky. So you need to be crashing. You don't need to run into the goalkeeper, don't need to get physical, but you want to be there in case the ball is dropped or bobbled or all those things. So again, I'm joined by Jeff Munter. Jeff takes care of the camera, the sound, the streaming, everything important for you to see the game. And there's it is again. There's Ramthen again. It's in there tight. Oh, what a play, Rancinici. And a great save by the Red Raiders goalkeeper, but there's no way you could grab that ball. And Rancinici's there for, oh, darn it. I see an offside, so offsides call, so that goal is negated. All my excitement down the tubes, but here we go. Score stays 1-0. Wisconsin Rapids now trying to move that ball up the field, try a little give and go. But Gracie Nell is there to take that ball back. Or I'm sorry, that was Allie Stubendick. Nicely managed ball there by number 10, Sydney Hayes of the Red Raiders. That ball was passed to her quite firmly, and she was able to settle it, make a move, and put it up the field. That was nice. And that ball's off. Stubendick got a little bit away from her, and will be a throw-in for the Red Raiders. I keep getting distracted, but again, thanks to Jeff Munter for all his work on these broadcasts. He has everything set and ready, and his name is Jeff, and my name is Jeff. I'm Jeff Ion. I am former longtime soccer coach here in Hudson. Coached a lot of high school traveling teams from when they were little to older, and did a lot of school level, high school, varsity, JV, 9th grade coaching in my education days in Minnesota. So, and played soccer for a long time in my youth and in college as well a bit. So here we go. It's good to be here. Love watching the Raiders, and they're off to a good start. There's a nice cross in by Tillman. Rancinici kind of surrounded by defenders, not much she could do there, and a nice pickup there by Red Raiders goalkeeper Aaliyah Leach. So we are a Hudson-based operation, but we certainly welcome our friends from Wisconsin Rapids who may be tuning in here for this match. I'm not sure how far that drive is. I'm going to Google it unless somebody wants to put it in the YouTube chat. But I'm guessing.
Quick correction, Jeff. You are the heart and soul of this.
Oh, thank you, Jeff Munter. It's a good team here, folks. So we're just glad to be here. Great facilities here at Hudson High School. Nice booth, although we're on the side with no air conditioning, and it's kind of an oven in here.
Subbing in for the Raiders of Hudson, number 15, Gracie Nell.
Gracie Nell in the match for the Raiders. And Gracie's been a big contributor this year, and it'll be fun to watch what she's going to do today. It's Olivia Petty on the ball. Looks like Wisconsin Rapids is a good 2.5 hours, probably closer to 2 hours and 45 minutes from Hudson. So probably a few. I'm looking out, and I can tell you Wisconsin Rapids fans have traveled well for this match, and we're glad to see that. It's always fun for both teams to have good showings in the playoffs. Hopefully you came up Friday night and enjoyed a little fun in historical downtown Hudson. It's a beautiful river town if you've not been here. And obviously I love Hudson. I've lived here for about 20 years and appreciate a lot of what it has to offer. So anyway, good match here so far. Raiders scored early at 1.5 minutes, but 6 minutes have gone by, and our score still stays at 1-0. Did have a second goal negated by an offsides call on the Raiders, but so far, since the first goal, Wisconsin Rapids has held strong on defense. Still looking to put together their first big offensive run against the Raiders defense, but and the Raiders defense is strong. They have been a solid unit. Several of them playing since they were sophomores, so they are juniors now, but by the time they're seniors next year, look out. In for the Raiders, we have number 6 Sophie Bast and number 17 Matea Langenau. I hope I'm saying Matea's name right. She's been kind of a newer addition
Subbing in for the Red Raiders, number 4 Lindsay Boris. Subbing in for the Hudson Raiders, number 6 Sophie Bast, and number 17 Matea Langenau.
Matea has been a somewhat recent addition to the varsity lineup, and that had the makings of something interesting, but spun out of bounds on the Red Raiders. But Matea coming on in the last few games, getting a lot of playing time for the Raiders and really showing some speed and skill, shooting ability. So she's going to be a fun one to watch next year, along with all of the other juniors on the team. And Matea is a sophomore, so she's got a couple years to go after this too. So it's a good feeder system here in Hudson. Tends to be a lot of a number of seniors and then some juniors and sophomores on the team and a few freshmen that get some experience early, and they are just able to maintain that throughout each season here due to the quality soccer programming in the Hudson area. Not all girls play in Hudson, but they all start here pretty much. And there's a real culture of appreciating and enjoying soccer here. So here we go. Still some good action back and forth. Wisconsin Rapids still looking for that first big offensive push. Hannah Huntley brings it up uncontested into Wisconsin Rapids territory. Now we're going to have a foot race, but looks like Huntley's on that. She's going to bring it back to the goalkeeper, Hannah Kendhammer. She's going to get a big boot up the field. Raiders certainly appreciated the Red Raiders' victory over Wausau West on Tuesday, because the Raiders would have been going on the road had Wausau West won that match. And it's always great when you're Hudson, because we're kind of on that outlying side of the state, that any road game for us at this point in the region is a long trip. at least a 2 to 3 hour bus ride. There's Langenau over to Hannah Lundeen, who takes a shot from distance, doesn't quite get the foot on it she wanted, but still gets a decent strike in there, but easily managed by Red Raider goalkeeper Aaliyah Leach. Red Raiders again knocking on the door, but they seem to be tending to have a defensive mentality early here in the match. Really only pushing 1 or 2 players up offensively, which is allowing the Raiders to really control it in their offensive half more. Langenau gets it out to Gracie Nell. Nice little pullback by Nell, and she's going to send it back to Huntley, who sends a big cross in across the middle, and is handled by Maggie Salama, who's going to send it up the middle, and taken by Wisconsin Rapids, but there's Maggie McConnell, the the hardcore center for the Raiders defense. She's had an outstanding season, and not only playing defensively, but the last few games she's scored a few goals and passed off a few nice assists, and has really had an all-around great season this year. Here comes it. That's a nice ball in by Gracie Nell. And Sophie Bass was there. The timing was just off a little bit, which is so easy to happen, but nice play nonetheless by the Raiders. Substitutes in for both teams. Number 3, Ava Brown, and number 21, Lily
Subbing
Rouleau
in
in for the
number
Raiders.
5, Claire Mitchell. For the Hudson Raiders, number 3, Ava Brown, and number 21, Lily Rouleau.
And in for the Red Raiders, number 5, Claire Mitchell. It's that time of year that I know Hudson's school year is over, and the 4 seniors, obviously their tenure here in Hudson High School is over. So there's different motivation, different sleep schedules, different everything for these girls. I'm imagining the Red Raiders have the same dynamic going on, and I always know as a coach, those first week or two that school's out, sometimes it's like you got a whole different group of kids because they're staying up later, they're sleeping in later, they're eating differently, they're just regimented a little bit differently when that schedule changes. But a 1 o'clock game is kind of perfect. Enough time to sleep in if need be. Here comes the Red Raiders. They've got the ball
Subbing
deep in
for the
Raiders
Red
territory.
Number 3, Jaden Plowman, and number 22, Jordan Coder.
Nice throw in there by Natalie Haddow. Again, too much defense, too many defenders on the offense, and the Raiders take the ball back. Good, strong defensive play by Natalie Bone of the Red Raiders there to keep that ball in their possession, but eventually gets out of bounds, and Raiders will have the throw. Hannah Huntley coming up. Imagine there's going to be some sunburned people after this match. It is sunny out there, unless they have their sunscreen on, I guess. I've reached that age where I worry about people getting sunburned, I guess. Here we go. Nice ball in by Huntley. Red Raiders kind of get in their own way and keep the ball in their own territory for the Raiders. Ooh, Maggie McConnell drills a big ball too far ahead, and it's going to be a punt for the Red Raiders. We're now about 16 minutes into the match. Raiders continue to lead 1-0 over the Red Raiders. Yes, both teams are Raiders. One Wisconsin Rapids, though, is the Red Raiders. So got the Blue Raiders and the Red Raiders today. If you are tuning in on the YouTube channel, please feel free
Subbing in for the
to...
Hudson Raiders, number 10, Kalia Heyer.
Comes Kalia Heyer. Kalia is a senior and has had a great career here in Hudson, playing varsity the last few years and being a big-time contributor to this team over those years. So fun to watch Kalia year after year here, and wish her well in her endeavors next year. If you are watching the YouTube channel and you want to drop a comment in the chat, we'd love to know who is out there watching and which player you might be associated with and where you're from, where are you viewing from. it's fun to see people from all over the country. So please feel free to drop that out, and I'll give you a shout out. And that includes our friends from Wisconsin Rapids as well. We always appreciate knowing who's out there and where you're from and who you're watching. So might take, sometimes there's a delay on YouTube that you have to be on for a bit before you can do that, but give it a shot. If you're watching on Facebook, you don't have that option. Now about 18 minutes into the half, and again, Raiders continue to lead 1-0.
Subbing in for the Red Raiders, number 13, Veronica Candler.
Lundeen takes a bit of a shove from behind, but didn't seem to affect her, and ref said play on, which is a good call, an advantage call, since the Raiders sort of possessed the ball at that time. Lily Rouleau in the middle there, passing it off to Lundeen, who's got some space, and she carries it. Kind of got a little ahead of her there. Rouleau on it too. One of those balls for the Raiders, they're just a bit away from them to do what they really want. Hannah Huntley, the right side of that defense, also a senior for the Raiders, and I believe is attending University of Wisconsin-Oshkosh in the fall, playing soccer. So we also wish her well. She's been a solid defender over the last few years. I've been the announcer. This is my
Coming
third
in
season.
for the Red Raiders, number 10, Sydney Hayes. Number 17, Evelyn Bowman. And coming in for the Hudson Raiders, number 14, Raina Fort. Number 16, Allie Stubendek. And number 22, Natalie Ramthen.
A lot of subs. I'm assuming you can hear the stadium announcer. Here we go. There's, Stubendek. Had a great opportunity. I think that ball was kind of bouncing and spinning oddly, and she tried to tag it with her left foot, but wasn't able to get on at what she had hoped for. So, any event, Hannah Huntley, again, we're excited for her future at Oshkosh, and have enjoyed my 3 years of announcing and watching her play and grow as a player, and helping anchor that defensive unit for the Raiders. Okay, got a throw in here by number 2, Natalie Haddow. Ref is going to back her up a hair, I think. Other Raiders seniors, Hannah Lundeen, who we've called her name a few times, has had an excellent senior season as well, scoring a goal last game. We all wish her well in her future endeavors, and Allie Stubendek as well. Allie's had a great career in Hudson soccer. I've enjoyed watching her play the last few years, and wish Allie the best in the future too. This could be our last broadcast, but we'll just have to see what happens in future games and what we're going to do to broadcast. But want to give those seniors a call out, and can't wait for next year already, because there's a whole bunch of juniors on this Raider team. I'm going to count them up here: 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 juniors at least coming back next year, hopefully, and then another 3 sophomores, and including Lily Rouleau and Natalie Ramthen, who have played a lot this season, and then Matea Langenal, who I mentioned, has come on really strong in the last few games. So
Coming in for the Hudson Raiders, number 5, Nellie Cower, and number 24, Olivia Petty.
all right, Nellie Cower in, another kind of later in the season addition to the roster, and has contributed well in these games. So good to have Nellie out there. Nellie's a sophomore, and there's Nevaeh Tillman with the ball. Nevaeh's had a fantastic season on defense as well. Played very strong, and has going to be good to have her back next year, too. Raiders keep pushing that ball outside. A little pull back by Fort. Brings it all the way back to Huntley. And up to Nellie Cower. Red Raiders get the clear, but it goes out of bounds and it'll be a throw-in for the Raiders. The sub looks like Maggie Salama entering the game for the Raiders.
Subbing in for the Hudson Raiders, number 2, Maggie Salama.
Kalia higher on the ball. Red Raiders put it up the field. Gets past Huntley. Had a little bit of a collision with a Red Raider. Good pullback by Petty, but too much pressure. However, Kalia Higher gets it. Tries to send it through. Too much defense. Pulls it back. And Raina Fort sends it for a ride. Doesn't quite get what she wants on it there either, and sends it wide and deep. And that's going to be a goal kick for the Red Raiders at about the 23.5-minute mark. Our score continues to be Raiders 1 and Hudson Raiders 1 and the Red Raiders 0. Oh, great turn there. Great turn there by Natalie Rampton. In traffic, somehow made the turn with the ball. And I don't know if she was maybe a little surprised, even, but she tagged that ball but right at the goalkeeper. Kind of a tough angle there for a blast. Oh! Big shot from distance, I think by Olivia Petty. Hits the post. Really great play. Trying to see a replay. I think that was Petty who took that shot, but I missed it. Anyway, thrown for the Raiders. That's number 5, Nellie Cower with the throw. Rampton with the ball. Sends it back to Maggie McConnell. Tries to play a low drive up to the strikers. Deflected by the defense, though, and the Raiders send another ball into the goalkeeper from distance, and Aaliyah Leach is able to handle that. Her punt, though, taken by the Raiders. It's Olivia Petty on the ball. Kalia Higher trying to send it in. I think she was trying to chip it and maybe leave it at the end of the end zone, the football end zone there, but got a little more on it. Raiders were streaking for it. That was actually had the makings of a nice play, but timing is everything in soccer. Raiders now have it deep in the left corner. I haven't seen much action over there, but a big Maggie Salama tries for a big cross, but deflected and kicked out of bounds by Wisconsin Rapids. It'll be a Raiders. Maybe it's Wisconsin Rapids throw. I missed something there, but that's no big surprise. And some subs in for the Red Raiders.
Subbing in for the Red Raiders, number 10, Sydney Hayes. Number 12, Allie Johns. And number 16, Abby Gust.
Lots of subbing today. The heat and the direct sun probably has a little bit of something to do with it. It's a nice play there by Nellie Cower, but just Rampton was sort of moving one way, the ball went the other way, and again, that's that timing thing. No matter how it looks, it sometimes looks like lots of plays should be made and lots of shots should be goals, but if you really break down the timing, it's difficult to put it all together, especially when you're using your feet, right? It's one thing to use your hands or other parts that you're much more comfortable with, but trying to get things to happen with your feet, no matter how good you are, is always a challenge. There's the ball back to number 7, Maggie McConnell, who sends it over to Nevaeh Tillman. Some nice give and goes here. Raiders stringing together some passes, sending it across. Often when you send that big ball, you know, 2/3 of the way across the field, you keep it going, but sometimes you pop it in the middle like you saw there. Rampton again pressuring. Raiders not content with a 1-goal lead, and you shouldn't be, because anything can happen to get a team at least 1 goal. So you can't be satisfied here. You got to keep the pressure on. Hard foul by Rampton from behind. That's going to be called every time. Number 13, Veronica Candler, takes that ball or takes the foul, and the Red Raiders will have the free kick, and they're going to send it deep. One Red Raider up there, but too much defense for the Hudson Raiders. Lots of pressure there by it's number 5, Claire Mitchell. She's now got the ball again. Tries to send it to the corner. That's going to be a little out of reach. Maggie McConnell's going to at least get there and challenge, and tries to make a turn, but it goes out of bounds. The Red Raiders have the ball deep in Hudson Raider territory for the first time, truly the first time, with some possession, and see what they can put together here. They send the throw into the corner. There's Mitchell again. Tries to do a heel turn, but spun off weird on Claire. It was a nice attempt, good play.
Subbing in for the Hudson Raiders, number 12, Hannah Lundeen, number 15, Gracie Nell, and number 21, Lily Rouleau.
Lots of subs for the Raiders. I'm not going to repeat those, but a big rotation on this team. Nearly everybody is playing in these first regional games, which is fun and exciting and builds experience. Britta Holter, usual starter and contributor, not here today. Had a college visit, and sometimes you just can't change some of those important future things. But Britta, if you're listening, we miss you here, and hope you're having a good time, and we'll hopefully be back for more action with you here in the regionals and sectionals. Big ball in, gets over. Lundeen with a nicely timed clear up to Petty. I really love seeing a clear that goes to somebody. Really helps you control what you do with the ball. Now Petty's back with it, and lots of pressure on defense. She sends it out wide. It's a nice play too. Back to Lundeen, who's going to take a step or two. Goes for the cross. Too much pressure there for number 16, Abby Gust of the Red Raiders, though, and the Raiders will have a throw-in. The 31-minute mark, the Hudson Raiders in blue continue to lead 1-0 over the Wisconsin Rapids Lincoln High School Red Raiders in white, playing from right to left on your screen. Had our first goal, the Raiders' only goal, I guess. Hudson Raiders' only goal. I got to get that down. At the 1.5-minute mark, so we've now gone 30 minutes with no scoring, and Red Raiders' defense has held strong despite a lot of pressure from the Hudson Raiders. 7 shots on goal, and they're holding strong. That's going to be a corner kick for the Raiders. First corner kick of the match, I believe. The Raiders usually have a lot of corner kicks, but they have not taken the ball. Usually they bring the ball down to the end line quite a bit and sometimes work for that corner kick in that situation. But so far this game, they just haven't had the opportunity. They've had a lot of possession and opportunity, but not in the form of where you normally get corner kicks. So here's Maggie McConnell. It's a nice cross. It's deep in there. Oh, my goodness. Wow. Raiders had a great opportunity. Olivia Petty was there, made a nice play. But, again, there's that timing thing, and you got people bumping. But that was a nice ball. A little bit out from the goal, which made it a little bit tempting for the goalkeeper to go after it, but she didn't. That's one that makes them really wonder what they should do. But the timing was just off, but a nice ball, nice play by the Raiders. Tillman now with the ball, sending it up the
Subbing
field.
in for the Hudson Raiders, number 8, Hannah Huntley.
Good turn there by Maggie Salama. I got Lundeen playing the right defense, and Hannah Huntley now playing some midfield. Gracie Nell with the throw for the Raiders. We're waiting for a shoe to be tied by Natalie Ramthen, and we're now at the 34-minute mark. 6 minutes left in the half. Big ball up by the Red Raiders, but Maggie McConnell was there to take that ball. Red Raiders end up with it again. They're going to send it, and they're going to try to have play a speed play. Nevaeh Tillman there, though. Good battle there between Tillman and number 5, Claire Mitchell. Good battle there. Mitchell with some speed. Tillman with the clear. Up to Ramthen. He nicely sends it wide to Salama, who's going to be able to carry it up a bit. Oh, great turn there. I think that's Stubendick over there. Sends the ball up, and it's a nice cross there. Beautiful, really nice play, because that was too far out for the goalkeeper to make a play, which is kind of, that's the ideal. You don't want to put it in too close, because goalkeepers can easily disrupt those plays, but it was a little out of reach of those Raider strikers, and but they keep knocking on the door. We'll see what those Hudson Raiders can do here. And there's a ball up, borderline offsides, but since the ball didn't get there, no call. Gracie Nell challenged there by number 16, Abby Gust of the Red Raiders. And it'll be some subbing here for the Raiders on the Raiders throw-in. It's Gracie Nell gearing up to take the throw.
Subbing in for the Hudson Raiders, number 3, Ava Brown, number 6, Sophie Bast, and number 11, Armana Rancinici.
All right, Rancinici back in the match. Armana is one who can make some things happen in the goal area, whether she's scoring or assisting or just kind of scrapping for balls to make things happen. Ball comes back to Lundeen. He's going to send it wide to Tillman. Kind of bananas away from Tillman, so she'll recollect and reset. Sends it up. It's a nice ball there too. Rancinici heads it back, and Petty's there to take a shot, but doesn't quite get the mustard on that shot that she probably wanted. Maggie McConnell back again, sends it over to Tillman. You can just see the great play between Tillman and McConnell. They've been a good defensive pairing for at least a couple of years here on the varsity, and they're going to be seniors together next year. So look for the Hudson Raiders defense to just be pretty tough next year. It'll be fun to watch. Lundeen recovers well, gets that ball out to Gracie Nell. Does a little pullback, off of the Red Raiders, and the Hudson Raiders will have the throw. We're now down to about 2.5 minutes left in the first half. Hudson Raiders in blue, playing from left to right, with the lead of 1-0 over the Red Raiders in white with red lettering from Wisconsin Rapids, Lincoln High School. If I'm not saying that school name right, somebody put it in the chat from Wisconsin Rapids so that I got it down correctly. I don't know how you actually say your team name, and I'd like to say it correctly for you. Here we go. Gracie now with the ball. Sends it in. Oof. Inadvertent handball in the box, but not called. That was an easy one to either see or miss, though, because that happened really quickly, and there's a lot of bodies around. So it's not that things, in soccer, think of it, 22 players you're watching, one ball, listening to coaches yelling, all that good stuff, and it's always possible something gets missed. So, and maybe that wasn't a handball. Sure looked like it from my perspective, but sometimes I'm wrong. Anyway, here's a throw. My kids would say I'm wrong all the time. It's not sometimes, it's all the time. Here we go. Again, Gracie Nell bringing it up. And there she gets a nice little more elevation on that chip. Play before, she went for the chip, and it was just she didn't get under it enough. This time she put a nice height on that ball.
1 minute.
Cleared some defense. Get that play down again, and Raiders will score, I'm sure of it. Okay, Red Raiders with the kick. We're now under a minute left in the first half. Huntley with the nice turn. Brings it back to Tillman. A little bit of a breeze picking up, but it's a right to left breeze on the field, if you're looking at the Wisconsin Rapids goal. That would be a eastern breeze to the east. Big ball up. Looking for a foot race. McConnell's pretty fast, though. Red Raiders have some speed there. A little bit of a
10,
breakdown
9,
there with 10
8,
seconds left.
7,
Give the Red Raiders
6,
a little hope.
5,
And
4,
folks,
3, 2, 1.
we will see you back in about 10 minutes for the second half. Have a nice little break. All right, everybody, welcome back to the second half of this matchup of Raiders. We have the visiting Wisconsin Rapids Lincoln High School Red Raiders, the number 7 seed in the regional tournament here, visiting. They are playing in white from left to right on your screen. And they're taking on the number 3 seed and home team, the Hudson Raiders of Hudson High School, in blue, playing from right to left on your screen. The Hudson Raiders are in the lead with a score of 1-0. That goal is at about the 1.5-minute mark of the first half, and so we played 38.5 minutes of scoreless soccer. Ended in the end of the first half. The Red Raiders had their best opportunity. Claire Mitchell had a little bit of a breakaway and just misplayed the ball a hair. Here the Raiders get the ball deep and some penetrating, get kind of double sandwiched by a couple of Red Raiders. And now Maggie McConnell gearing up, and this is kind of her specialty shot here from about the 20-yard line. She scored a couple times in the last 2 games off this. That ball's right at Red Robin's goalkeeper, Aaliyah Leach, and she's able to make the play and sends the punt up. So again, I think in YouTube you have to be watching for an hour before you can drop a comment. So if you have been and you want to drop a line as to which player on either team you are watching, where you're from, and any other interesting information, I would love to give you a shout out, and appreciate all of you tuning in from wherever you are. Here we go. We have Maggie McConnell lining up another corner kick. It's another nice ball. And, oh! Ransonichi held her ground a little further out. Sometimes it's so easy to get sucked into the goal area, and a ball like that just flies through. But Ransonichi held her position and was able to get ahead on that. It was deflected by Aaliyah Leach, the goalkeeper for the Red Robins, and everything. But nice play by Ransonichi to get ahead on it. 2 nice corner kicks for the Raiders so far this match. Here's another one. They're turning in. That ball's out there nice. Oh. Ramth and the ball a little bit behind her. She wasn't able to really get her body in the right position to get anything on that ball. And another ball there collected by Aaliyah Leach and is going to be sent up the field for a punt. Maggie McConnell there to pick it up. And that ball goes out of bounds. Ball sneaking through again, and just a little bit out of the reach of the Raiders. Nicely collected again by Aaliyah Leach.
Subbing in for the Red Raiders, number 13, Veronica Candler.
Ransonichi sends it out wide to Salama, who's got space and time, and she's cutting it into the middle. Sending it to space, but too far out there, and taken by the defense. Good play there by Lundeen into the middle. Raina Fort carrying it across the field, taking it up. Nobody challenging, so you carry that ball as far as you can. Olivia Petty, ball bounces off hard. So the Raiders matchup, either of these teams is going to be, when I say Raiders, I mean either Raiders, is going to depend on a game tonight, it looks like, between DC Everest and Eau Claire Memorial High Schools. They play at 7 o'clock tonight, and that will be a important factor in this game, and who will be hosting and who won't be decided till tonight. I was wondering if they were, looks like they're playing tonight rather than today. If they were both playing now, we'd know kind of what was going on. Maggie McConnell, nice play there, sending it up the field. Appreciate everybody tuning in to this River Channel broadcast. About 6.5 minutes into the second half, there's no scoring at all in this half, and really no scoring since the first minute or so of the match. It's been all Raiders here in the second half so far. This is about as far as the Red Raiders have gotten into Hudson Raider territory. When I say Raiders, I'm generally meaning the Hudson Raiders, and I'll say Red Raiders for
Subbing in for the Hudson
Wisconsin
Raiders,
Rapids.
number 6, Sophie Bass. Number 10, Kalia Heyer. And number 15, Gracie Nell.
Kind of took a peek outside, and there is a very large crowd here for today's game. It's super exciting. Probably a good 250, maybe even 300 people here. Super fun atmosphere. Lots of cheering. It's been a good game, a close game, score-wise. So fun to have this kind of atmosphere. And here comes again Maggie McConnell chasing it down. And Hannah Kendhammer collects. It's a little out of reach for the Red Raiders to get to that ball, even with speed. Lundeen, time, nothing but time on her hands there. Not a Red Raider within 15 yards. Carries it up, passes off to Ava Brown. Ava trying to drive it to the corner, but gets taken over by the defense. Hannah Lundeen, though, on the ball at the mid, carrying it in the middle, no pressure. Tries to send she put a nice little angled through ball there. Again, that's not one, that's a nice play to keep the goalkeeper at bay, but Alicia Leach of the Red Raiders, she had enough time to get to it. So it's a good play by Lundeen, though. Just don't want to kick it straight into the goal from distance, because then the goalkeeper is going to get it 90% of the time or more. Now see that ball there again, there weren't any Raiders there, but that ball is a kind of a crossing through ball that is angled, so a goalkeeper can never get to it. And if Raiders on the right side of the field
Subbing in for the
there.
Red Raiders, number 5, Claire Mitchell. And number 10, Sydney Hayes.
On the right side, if Raiders were there to pick that ball up, it would have been a great play. So you send it, because you're not always, when you get the time to send that ball, you don't always have time to make a big decision. But it's a good, safe play, and didn't pan out, but I like it. Red Raiders again here. Red Robin, I must be hungry. I'm not sure what's going on, but Red Raiders with the throw in here, and we even have a Red Robin here in Hudson. I don't know where the nearest one is. maybe Eau Claire. Anyway, Red Raiders deep in Hudson Raiders territory, and we'll see if they can put something together here. Hannah Huntley sends that ball out of bounds for the Hudson Raiders. Big ball in by the Red Raiders, a little off angle, and going to give the Raiders a goal kick, but some pressure we haven't seen a whole lot of from the Red Raiders. We just saw. So
subbing in for the Hudson Raiders, number 16, Allie Stubendick.
Some halftime adjustments maybe, and we'll see what happens here. But the Raiders with the goal kick. Red Raiders were set up there, but there wasn't a lot of movement on there. The people away from the ball. People need to be crossing over, switching around to create some lanes and confusion among the defense. But here we go. Raiders now throwing deep in their territory. This is Ellie Stubendick. The big throw coming up here. Big throw by Stubendick. Nobody home. Sophie Bass brings it out to Hannah Huntley. "52 minutes into the match, 12 minutes into the second half, and 28 minutes left in this game. Our score still sits at 1-0 Hudson Raiders advantage. McConnell with another nice takeaway, sends a big ball up in the middle. Stubendick's there, able to put it together. She sends a nice little ball through. There's people there, but that's not a bad idea because she was not going to get around on it to make a play. And nicely collected ball by Aaliyah Leach of the, I guess they're calling a offsides call. Can't be offsides, I'm not sure. The ref is picking the ball up. I don't know what he's doing here. I think we had some real confusion here with what's going on, but I guess that ball hit the referee, so drop ball is the play. The team that would have had possession sort of gets the advantage there. I don't know if that was an offsides or maybe a little too much pressure on the goalkeeper on the previous play, why the Red Raiders got a free kick, but either way, it is what it is. Connell with a great play there. Just need to challenge sometimes. Even if you lose the ball, you need to challenge, and she did, and she won it, and that sends a lot of different messages, but from what I've seen of Claire Mitchell, it's not going to deter her from doing anything on the field. It's a nice throw.
Subbing in for the Red Raiders, number 3, Jaden Plowman. Subbing in for the Hudson Raiders, number 2,
of the Red Raiders
Maggie
in the
Solano.
corner. Trying to make something happen there. The ball got a little out of Sydney's reach. She made a mad scramble at the end trying to get that ball played off of Hannah Huntley so they could get a corner kick, but never panned out there. Ava Brown gets ahead on that and disrupts things a bit. Ball goes out of bounds and it'll be a throw-in for the Red Raiders.
Subbing in for the Hudson Raiders, number 22, Natalie Ramthun, and number 24, Olivia Petty.
Dumadick tries sending the ball across, disrupted by Red Raiders defense. Red Raiders send it up. They're trying to hit a 1-to-1. They're going to try to use some speed advantage by Claire Mitchell, but the Hudson Raiders' Maggie McConnell's pretty fast too. So I think she showed there that if she's got usually the defense has a step or two advantage just the way they position themselves, and she's got the speed to get that ball if need be. Big clear by McConnell. Headed back in by the Red Raiders. "56 minutes into the match, the Hudson Raiders in blue continue to lead by a score of 1-0 over the visiting Wisconsin Rapids Red Raiders from Lincoln High School in white by a score of 1-0. Time of possession definitely in the Hudson Raiders' favor. Probably 2-1, 3-1 on time of possession. But nonetheless, the score is still tight, and the Red Raiders have started to put together a few offensive runs, and so we'll see what happens here. We're down to about 23 minutes in the match left.
Raiders, number 21, Lily Rouleau.
And Lily Rouleau in the game for the Raiders. Lily usually has family watching online, but perhaps since it's a beautiful Saturday afternoon, they're here for the match. Big ball up. Mitchell trying to make something happen for the Red Raiders. Too much Hudson Raider defense. Big throw there by Hannah Huntley. Ramthen with the ball. She's going to make a turn, try to get around on it. And that ball just gets too far away, and it's going to be a goal kick for her. Oh, thank you. Awesome, thank you. We just had a nice delivery from the concession stand of hot dogs, and must be cleaning things out. It's highly possible it's the last game of the season, so clearing out a little inventory. Ooh, it's a great corner kick. Oh, and Ava Brown was there with a blast, but just went off Red Raiders defense, but Hudson Raiders with a really nice play there. And that's going to be another corner kick for the Raiders on the other side. Maggie Salama going to take it. It's not often we get a little food delivery up here in the booth, so can't complain about that.
Job's got its perks.
As soon as I take a bite, something exciting will happen, I guarantee it. Salama puts a decent ball in, chested out by the defense. Great save by Ava Brown, stretching down the line. That ball sneaks through. Oh, Ramthen sends it off the post. Wow, what a play, though. That all really started with Ava Brown just stretching out on the sideline to save that ball from going out. And then the Raiders get it in, and Ramthen had lots of pressure, but she got a nice shot off. But again, it's kind of that you got to do it fast, so you do it, and it's not perfect. And that ball went off the post. And then they came back in a way the Raiders had another chance, but weren't able to put anything on it. But exciting play. Score remains the same, though, 1-0 Hudson Raiders. It's Rouleau in the middle with the ball. Fighting through defense. Great play, Lily Rouleau. Ramthen with a cutback. Sends another ball up, sends a big shot in, but it's wide. Raiders really hustling, really scrapping to hang on to the ball and fight through some tough defense and
Subbing in
get
for
some
the Hudson Raiders, number
opportunities.
17, Matea Langenol.
That was a shot or play from about 35 yards out, taken by Red Raiders goalkeeper. Tillman drives it up and Ramthin gets a foot on it. It was a nice looking play, but tough one to make something happen. But Raiders continue to hold on to it. Ball gets out wide. That looks like a goal. That's a goal for the Raiders. Holy Hannah. It was a great shot, I think. I think that was Matea. I'm not sure, but I'm going to try to see it here. 17 got the goal. Langenol, that's what I thought. Matea, yeah.
Yeah, but I didn't know who got the assist.
Yeah, that's not always easy. I don't always worry about the assist when I'm doing, but I'll see if I can pull it up here. Great goal.
And look like the other two kicked it. Did I see that?
I don't think so. I think here it comes. Here it comes. There's Matea. Yeah, she blasted it. Yeah, so who gave her that? Oh, that was Ramthin with the assist.
Awesome. Thank
Yep.
you so much.
So Natalie Ramthin with the assist to Matea Langenol, who I have sung the praises of a bit today for a sophomore coming in. And oh, what a save! What a great set of plays by Hannah Kendhammer. Number 7, Kendall Bannock. Really nice play by the Red Raiders.
That last goal made by number 17, Matea Langenhol. With an assist from number 22, Natalie Ramthin.
Hannah Kendhammer, though, great initial save, and then she went after the loose ball and had to take on a physical challenge, and Hannah with a fantastic save. She hasn't had a lot of action today, didn't have a lot of action earlier this week. Here comes Langenol again. She's got speed, folks. She has got some speed, and Red Raiders just got to it, and exciting few moments here on all sides of the field. The Red Raiders getting their best opportunity of the match, but they send the shot right at Hannah Kendhammer of the Raiders, but it was still a heck of a blast and a heck of a play. And then the Raiders with almost another streaking play by Langenol. Raiders throwing deep in their offensive end. Hudson Raiders, that is. That goal by Langenol puts the Hudson Raiders up 2-0, gives them a bit of breathing room. But the way the Red Raiders are playing, Hudson can't rest on that. One goal, one quick goal or a penalty kick makes it a one-goal game, and that's tight. We are getting down there, though. 16 minutes about left in the match.
Subbing in for the Red Raiders, number 22, Jordan Cotter. And for the Hudson Raiders, number 12, Hannah Lundeen.
Clear there by Maggie McConnell. Hannah Lundeen sends it up. That's Ramthen in the middle going after it. There's Langenall. There's a nice little pass into Ramthen. Sends it in the middle. There's Stubendick. She gets a foot on it, but has to send that ball a little bit further ahead than she could follow. I'll say this: the first half was a little slow, a little boring. Good soccer, but nothing exciting. The second half has been all excitement. The halftime pep talks by the coaches reminding these girls that this might be the end of the season if you don't make something happen. Probably the message sent in both sides has definitely sparked some energy from both teams. Tough play there off of Gracie Nell. It'll be a throw-in for the Red Raiders. Tillman's there, sends it up the middle, high bouncer. Ramthen's going to challenge that. She wins it. Doesn't quite get it to where she wanted it, but did win the ball and got it back in the Hudson Raiders' possession. Looks like Rancinici re-entering the game. Ramthen getting a break.
Subbing in for the Hudson Raiders, number 6, Sophie Bast, and number 11, Armana Rancinici.
And number 6, Sophie Bast entering the game. Bast and Rancinici, both juniors who we will again see next year. It's going to be, Raina Fort had it all queued up from about 25 yards out, but didn't quite get the power on that shot she wanted. She had time to set up, though, and sometimes you see defenders flying in, you wonder where they're coming from. It throws your mind off a little bit. Could be 1,000 things, but a good attempt nonetheless. Hannah Kendhammer of the Raiders with the punt. Nicely taken ball by Claire Mitchell of the Red Raiders on the header. Great defense here all around by the Raiders. It's a nice defensive stop initially by Hannah Huntley, and then Maggie McConnell, and then a nice take by comes Sophie Bass. She kind of lost it, but still set up control. Ball swings out to Langenall. Tries to send across through, and it can be tough to get around on that ball when you're kind of running at an angle, outward angle, to get your hip and leg around to cross that ball. Super hard, and that ball goes off of Matea, and it'll be a goal kick here for the Red Raiders. Off of Rouleau's knee, up to Rancinici. Follows it in. Nicely collected by Aaliyah Leach, though. She's played a nice game, Aaliyah Leach. Lots of action. 15 shots on her. 2 have scored, but 13 saves is not too shabby. Lots of other pressure. So Aaliyah Leach playing a nice game for the Red Robins. Rouleau tries to make a turn there, but that ball was bouncing all over the place. Red Robins now with a push. Red Raiders. Why do I keep saying that? I apologize. Comes Langenall again. She gets around the corner. Gets a good cross on there. Again, it's all timing. Rancinici was there, but when you're standing there trying to get that ball, there's not a lot you can do with it. You need to, you want to be about 2 steps behind and meet that ball to drive it into the goal. But of course, Rancinici didn't know where the ball was going to come from either. So sometimes though you see a play like that where Armana is right there and the ball comes to her, but it's not a lot you can do with the ball in that situation in reality. Quick throw in by the Red Raiders. Another throw in for the Red Raiders. Got a big slew of Hudson Raiders coming in. 5 lined up to substitute in. Red Raiders, they get it back again. Send a cross through. Kendhammer is there, though. That's a guaranteed goal if Kendhammer doesn't lay out there and go get that ball. If she had stayed put to hope for a clear, but there was not a Raider anywhere around the ball, really, and a couple Red Raiders ready to strike. So, Hannah Kendhammer, nice job to you. Now under 10, we're not 9 minutes in the match. This game, second half, has flown by. Comes 5 subs for the Raiders.
Subbing in for the Hudson Raiders, number 2, Maggie Salama. Number 5, Nellie Cower. Number 13, Chloe Gergerson. Number 16, Allie Stubendek. And number 22, Natalie Ramson.
So Chloe Gergerson, that's a new name, getting in here. Good to have her back on the field. She's gotten some good action here in the last few games as well. And Raiders of Hudson continue to lead 2-0. Inadvertent handball there on, must have been on Rampton, and Red Raiders will have a free kick here. So I'm going to make an educated guess here that I believe DC Everest was the number 1 seed in the region. So if DC Everest can beat...
Folks, let's take an opportunity right now to thank our superstars on the sidelines, our ball kiddos.
If DC Everest wins tonight, they will likely host a game next week. At some point, these games end up at neutral fields, but I may have that wrong. Because if Eau-Claire, there's a good ball through, but Nevaeh Tillman is there and she disrupts it. Red Raiders will have a corner kick, though. So a good attempt for them. We have a nice breeze coming in the window here. Feels good all of a sudden. Very warm in here. I have a wasp in my face. I'll try to keep an eye on the game, though. Nice ball in by the Red Raiders. Able to get on it. Oof, that was close. McConnell goes for the clear, almost trips Mitchell in the box. That would have definitely been a PK play, but the trip didn't actually happen, and nobody went down, but it was darn close. Down to about 6.5 minutes left in the match. Again, when the game is on the line and the season is going to end, it's these last few minutes are going to be pretty high pressure. Ball's up. We're now down to about 5.5 minutes. Big punt here by the Red Raiders. Big clear there by Raina Fort. Gets up to Ramthen. Fights off a descender, sets up Stubendick, who, again, not really in the best position to take that shot, but tries to send something in. And that's taken by the Red Raiders goalkeeper. So yeah, DC Everest, _1 seed, playing Eau Claire Memorial tonight at 7 p.m. at DC Everest. Okay, I thought it was at Eau Claire, which had me confused. So yeah, so if DC Everest pulls out the win, then the Hudson Raiders will go on, or the winner of this game, because anything could still happen in 4 minutes, will go to DC Everest. If the Hudson Raiders win and Eau Claire Memorial wins, then Hudson will be the top seed left and hold those advantages. I don't know if that'll translate into a home game or not. At some point, these matches end up at neutral sites, but we'll wait and see. If Wisconsin Rapids wins as the 7 seed, they're the lowest seed, so they will be on the road regardless of any of the outcomes because they're the lowest seed left. But 3 minutes left. Anything can happen. Oh, boy. Big clear there by Aaliyah Leach, but it goes off one of her teammates' faces, and
Filling in for the Hudson
Stop the
Raiders,
clock.
Number 11, Armana Rancinici. Number 12, Hannah Lundeen. And number 24, Olivia Petty.
So they started the worst guy and had him stuff his mouth with ketchup and then barf it up. So they had to take him out of the game and then put in the better guy.
Did you hear that? 76-43.
You know the Packers have cheated.
43. 23.
23. 76-23.
We got it.
And then they put it right back. Here.
Yeah, I think the Red Raiders were trying to have it be 23. They wanted every second they could get. Anyway, here we go. A little bit of a clock challenge there. We're down to 3 minutes left in this match. Heck of a match, actually. Got to start the clock. Oh, okay. We're on it.
The Ravens cheated, the Bengals cheated, the Browns cheated, the Steelers, oh yeah, I remember that. Mike Tomlin was standing on the field and then he jumped out to South Dakota. Okay, so the Texans have cheated. The Colts have cheated.
It's going.
The Jags have cheated. The Titans have cheated. The Broncos have cheated.
All right. It's never easy running the clock, so down to 2 minutes in the match. Not sure why the initial clock stoppage was called, but I don't know if there was an injury or what. Lundeen sends it up, kind of misplayed, but it comes in nice, and a sky ball by the Raiders there. Down to 1.5 minutes Hudson Raiders continue to lead 2-0. Anything can happen in a minute and a half, though, so we'll hold off on any declarations yet, but the clock is ticking. Big clear here by the Red Raiders, goes out of bounds. Nellie Cower with the throw, gives it to Tillman, actually. Sends it up the line.
1 minute.
Stubendick on it. Red Raiders with the clear. Again, out of bounds. Makes it tough to put anything together when you kick it out of bounds. Takes a lot of time off. Tillman with running to get the ball. Down to 30 seconds now. I think we can safely probably call this for the Hudson Raiders, and we will wait and see what happens tonight at DC Everest and the Eau Claire Memorial match and see where we end up. But the Raiders will live to play another day, which is exciting for these girls. And a good victory for the Raiders. A nice match all around here, though. Red Raiders,
10,
Wisconsin Rapids
9,
with a big win
8,
last week.
7.
Great way
6,
to end their season.
5,
You always hate
4,
to lose, but
3,
they had a
2,
great ending,
1.
too, and a good match here. Way to go, Hudson Raiders. Great game. And, folks, we will maybe see you back for another broadcast. If not, we'll root these girls on one way or another. And thanks for tuning in to the River Channel. Have a great rest of your day.